what you all want me to talk about today. Something that's bothering you. Something you want to kickstart.
I don't know, because all I can think about is all the craziness that's going on in the world right now. And that pretty much takes up most of my, reading the news and all that. It's crazy. I'm trying to think.
And yet, it's all okay. So far. At least today. In our lives. Whatever's happening right now is okay. That's happening somewhere else, right? How do we not get caught up in this world? What is the trick to just remaining calm and centered? How do we stop ourselves from getting angry with things that are happening? That are out of our control. We didn't make it happen, right? These things just happened. And if we're born, say, 500 years later, there's going to be tremendous wars for food and for water. Right? It's the times. Every age, every century, every epoch, every era has its own set of problems. In fact, we've been very fortunate thus far to be born in a place, in a country where everything has been perfect. We've not faced any major wars. We have not had invaders coming into our city, burning our homes, taking our women, right? Which used to happen in Europe or in India or in Africa or in any country in the 17th century, the 16th, every age, that was a different time. We're very blessed. Our problems are very small. And there are many people that are reasonable and that can probably effect the change that we want happening. Don't sit in your head. Don't trust your head so much. The thing is, our mind throws up these thoughts all the time because we're getting this sensory input. So I would say the first thing one does is to stop the sensory input. So don't believe Facebook. Don't read too much into that. Don't watch the news more than once. It's the same thing again and again and again. The more you watch it, the more you invest into it, the more the mind is, where the mind meets the body is where the emotions rise. That is the point. The mind contacts the body and it's in the body that the emotions rise. When emotions rise, thoughts become impressions. So we don't want that happening. We don't want that happening. Yes, these are difficult times. But who hasn't had difficult times? Anybody who hasn't gone through a difficult time. Yes, there's this huge thing that we're worried about. We won't have health care. It'll be repealed. Do you have health care now? You do? You? Today? Okay. When health care gets repealed, let's deal with it then. How about that? How about that?
That's fine. But I think you can't stay quiet about everything because things are, gotta speak up.
Right, but there's a difference between sitting in your armchair and worrying and actually going out and doing something about it. There is a huge difference between the two. Most people are sitting and discussing it to death. Right? They're arguing, they're all experts on Trump, his policies, the heads of the Steve Bannon and what Putin did and how the elections were won and what electronic machines were being used and what this education secretary, we're all experts. And we talk so much. You want to do something? By all means do something. Do something worthwhile. Organize a march. Organize a rally. Get involved. By all means, get involved. In fact, if you actually got involved, the worry would leave your head. The fear would leave your head because you know you're doing something about it. Actually doing something. But we're not doing that, right? We're not doing that. We're all armchair experts. All pretend we know everything. No matter where you go, they're all authorities on this. And the more one fear is stopped by another fear, is stopped by another fear. World War III, world is going to come to an end, nuclear warheads, this. I mean, you can be frightened or you can just stay in the now, stay in the present. You have to deal with our own issues that are going on in our lives, right? By all means, get involved. There's so many avenues, so many opportunities to get involved. But to sit and to just worry and to just be fearful, it doesn't solve any problem. It doesn't make any difference. That's why, Guruji will always say, worry that the sun won't shine. Those are really huge problems. If the sun doesn't shine and the air refuses to come into your lungs. Those are the real problems of the world. Do something about it. If something bothers you, you're scared, you're thinking about global warming, do something about it. But do it. Don't just sit in your head. Because fear takes you nowhere. Fear gets you nowhere. It just creates monsters that do not exist. You have to learn to disengage from your mind. Don't trust everything that your mind is telling you. Don't believe everything that's coming up in your head. Because beyond the mind, beyond the thoughts, there is a supreme intelligence at play. There is something much further than just this average everyday thoughts. And that supreme intelligence works only through faith. It works only through faith. And it works. It is observing everything. Above and beyond everything lies that supreme intelligence that makes things happen or not happen. And you have to trust and have faith that that supreme intelligence functions at the best level. You have to send out thoughts that are filled with faith, filled with hope, filled with courage, filled with gratitude. It's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. If you keep saying, oh my God, this is what is happening to the world, what is all this craziness, when is it all going to end, what's going to happen to us, what's going to happen to our kids, when is my visa going to get revoked, what about my citizenship, oh I'm safe, but I don't have to worry, that community has to worry. These terrible thoughts are making the same situations play out and play out and play out. And it is how we got into this problem in the first place, by giving it too much importance. I always say that people made Donald Trump the president, some by actually voting and others by talking about him all the time. So we are all equally responsible for what is happening. But it doesn't help anybody. It does not help. Forget about the situation. Any situation in your life, anything that's going on, whether you've gone through bereavement, whether you've gone through a job loss, even when things are going extremely well, you're still stuck in your thoughts. And you trust your thoughts too much. You have to go from a state of being in the mind to a state of being without the mind. And that happens. You get glimpses of that in meditation. You get glimpses of that. And those are glimpses of enlightenment. Because enlightenment is nothing other than no mind. The mind is something of this world. It is the delusion of whatever's happening outside. It is a result of all your sensory reactions. What you see, what you hear, what you touch, what you taste. That's what creates the mind. But when you sit in meditation, and after a while, there is nothing, and if I say, become aware of a thought, you're like, oh, no, what was I thinking of just now? What was I thinking of? But you weren't thinking of anything. There was that moment where it all just calmed down. It all just wound down. And there was that nothingness. That no mind. At that point, when there's no mind, there's no fear. There is no fear. That is why we meditate. This is the reason for meditation, to get rid of fears that are so intrinsically connected to your mind. It's what the mind is throwing up all the time, because that is how it controls you. That is how it tells you how to live your life. Presents all the temptations that are not good for you. It presents all the scenarios that are very frightening. It presents all the things that are scary, that cause that emotional turmoil. That's what it likes. You can't trust your mind all the time. You have to trust your heart. You have to trust your heart. You have to drop down to the level of the heart. The way you communicate with the universe, the way you communicate through consciousness is by opening the channel of the heart. Manaha, namaha is what we say in Sanskrit. From the head to the heart. And that's what connects. There's no logic in it. How can you believe that the heart is telling you everything is going to be okay, but you've just lost your mother? Everything is not okay. You've just lost a dear person. Everything is not okay, but your heart is saying it's going to be okay. If you trust your heart at that point of time, I trust you 100%. It will guide you to that place. A little way down the road, maybe not immediately, maybe not just now, in the future, sometime, it will guide you to a place, to a time where everything will be okay. Our minds are very, very fickle. At one moment this is important, 6 months down the road it's not. It's like news headlines. You know, headlines are so important at one point. I mean, Kennedy's assassination was the most important thing when Kennedy got assassinated. The Civil War, the South was burning. People's homes were disrupted. Families were torn apart. Who is thinking of the Civil War right now? Who is thinking? Nobody. Nobody. Everything passes. Everything changes. You have to have that feeling. Connect to the universe with your heart. with the faith that it's all going to be fine. Whatever happens, whatever's happening is happening for a very, very good reason. Something needs to change. Maybe this country has been ignoring certain sections of the population for too long. Maybe there is a discord between two sections of the population and some kind of harmony needs to be created. Maybe people have been quiet for too long and not appreciated the value of freedom. And they need to wake up. I don't know the reason. But there is a supreme intelligence that has made this happen, that understands why. And we won't know. Maybe 10 years later, we'll look back on it and say, that's what it was. That's what it was. And there are problems big, and there are problems that are small. You have a headache, and that's the worst thing in the day. Someone's getting their leg amputated. Is that worse or better? We're going through things in life. That's what life is about. Approach everything with a feeling, with the faith that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. There is a supreme intelligence at work. Give out that good energy. Connect with the universe in a positive, good way. And then abundance just flows. Grace just flows. Everything is fine. Everything is good. Nothing is either good or bad. Things just are. It's our own perspective that matters. It's all a matter of our own perspective. So strengthen yourself with the resolve that I won't trust my mind. I'll trust that supreme intelligence. And I will live each day, each moment, effortlessly, knowing that happiness is my birthright. And I will face everything with faith, with courage and with gratitude. That's all I need.